What's up everyone? On today's video, we're going over the top 7 things you need to know before moving to Asbury Park, New Jersey. We're going to cover a couple different topics like the commute to work, whether that's New York City or Philadelphia, the entertainment options, and a few others. But before we get started, if this is your first time to the channel, my name is Steve McCutcheon, and I'm a realtor at Berkshire Hathaway. On the Live in Central New Jersey channel, we cover everything related to the Central Jersey real estate market. So if you want to be the first one to know what's going on in either Monmouth or Ocean County real estate, feel free to click the bell, hit the subscribe button. Let's get this video started. Coming in at point number 1 is going to be the location. So as you can see from the photo popping up, Asbury Park is going to be located across the east coast of Monmouth County and the Jersey Shore. It's going to border a couple different towns like Ocean Township and also Neptune, and the town itself is going to be roughly about 1.6 square miles, so that puts Asbury Park in 36 out of 53 municipalities in Monmouth County in terms of size. Now, Asbury is kind of broken down into 2 different parts in my opinion, and you're going to have the eastern side and the western side, and it's going to be divided straight down the middle basically by Route 71, which is the only major roadway that goes through in Asbury Park. On the eastern side, you're going to have more of the city atmosphere, entertainment options, really good restaurants, beach and boardwalk, whereas on the western side, you're going to have more of the neighborhood, single-family homes, that kind of thing. Like I mentioned, 71 is going to be the only major roadway that runs through, but there are quite a few in the neighboring towns like Route 33, 66, 35, and even the Garden State Parkway. Point number 2 is going to be the commute to work. Living in Asbury Park, you actually have the best of both worlds here, and you can get to either New York City or Philadelphia. There's 3 main ways you're going to get to New York City, and that's going to be driving yourself, taking the bus, or taking the train. When it comes to driving yourself, if there is 0 traffic to get to New York City, obviously we're going in rush hour time right now, but if there is 0 traffic, you probably get to New York City within like an hour and 15 minutes tops, I would say. But dealing with rush hour, dealing with other cars on the road, maybe bad weather, accidents, anything along those lines, you are probably going to be running yourself about an hour and a half to an hour and 45 minutes. The easiest route would be just heading a little bit west over to the Garden State Parkway, which is a toll road, and that's going to take you all the way up north. If you want to take the train, that's also going to be about an hour and a half, hour 45 minutes, somewhere in that ballpark range. There is one thing though here, some of the routes you'll have to get off in Long Branch and onto another line, where it seems as other ones are going to be express just by looking at the different routes that they have available to you on the NJ Transit website. So just double check that. And then that's going to take you again an hour and a half, hour 45 minutes. And the last option is going to be taking the bus. You actually can't take the bus through NJ Transit. You're going to have to use Academy instead and use their short points line, and that's also going to run you roughly about an hour and 45 minutes. Kind of crazy, isn't it? Moving on to Philadelphia, the only option is realistically going to be driving yourself. There is no train that goes east to west like that across Central Jersey, and the bus, you would have to take NJ Transit, and that's about over 3 hours, so I don't think anyone pretty much wants to do that on their commute work. So driving yourself, you'd have to go a little farther south, hop on the Route 195 and take that all the way out west, and then from there you go down on the New Jersey Turnpike south. That's also going to run you crazy, about an hour 45 minutes. So either commute is pretty much going to be roughly the same. It's just a matter of where you work and which direction you have to go. Point number 3 is going to be demographics. Now, when it comes to Asbury Park, the population is going to be roughly about 15,000 residents, and that ranks 14th in the county, but it ranks 2nd in density, which means you're going to have a lot of people in a smaller area. Asbury kind of has one of the few city feels to it that we're going to have in Monmouth County, so it is pretty walkable. I would highly recommend getting a car or a vehicle if you're going to be traveling outside of Asbury Park, but you do have the train there, so you're going to get up and down the Jersey Shore towns pretty easily. You can get into New York City like we already talked about, so there is some options and availability there, but if you have to go anywhere out west, maybe to an airport, something like that, you're more than likely probably a better option to have a vehicle with you. But if you're just going to be staying in Asbury Park for the most part, it's a pretty walkable, you can get around pretty easily. Another thing to note for demographics though is going to be the crime rate, and if you look it up online, you'll see that Asbury Park is actually above the national average, which is quite uncommon for Monmouth County. Usually we're well below that mark, but since the 1990s, Asbury is going to be on a very steady decline. The police over there have done an excellent job being visible, hiring more people, and also just having different divisions in there as well. My wife and I used to go out there a lot there in our early 20s, and we've never felt unsafe walking around there at night, parking our car, and anything along those lines. I also have quite a few friends that live in the area now too. The median home sales price is going to be $635,000, and the average income is going to be about $63,000. Point number 4 is going to be entertainment options, and this is by far where Asbury Park shines the biggest and the brightest. During the daytime, you can go hit the boardwalk and the beach. Seasonal passes are available, so if you're an adult, that's going to be around $70. If you're a senior 62 or older, or a teenager 13 to 17, you get $20 seasonal passes. Kids 12 and under are actually going to be free, along with active military and their dependents, and then if you're disabled and not active, then you can also get it for free too. Daily passes is going to be $6 Monday through Friday, or $10 on the weekends or the holidays. At night, you're going to have a couple different live music options. The Stone Pony and Wonder Bar are definitely going to be the most notable. They've been around for a while. The Stone Pony has quite a reputation for their summer music lineup, and it's going to involve this year T-Pain, Sum 41, Jake Owen, and a few other notable names. Now, if you want a little bit more low-key in a vibe, you can head over to Beer Garden. That's more of a sit-down environment, kind of talk with friends. Head over to Johnny Max if you're probably in that young 20s to mid-20s generation or age group. That's going to be like early 2000s music, pop punk. So if that's kind of your vibe, highly recommend checking out over there. And then last but not least, if you want something a little bit more interactive, head over to Asbury Lanes. You can catch some bowling. So there's a little bit of everything for someone in Asbury Park, and highly recommend checking out the area. It's a really good nightlife. Point number 5 is going to be school system and education. According to niche.com, the Asbury Park School District is going to be rated a C-, houses about 1,550 students, and has a 12-to-1 student-teacher ratio. They also have 3 elementary schools in the district and 1 high school. If your child doesn't want to attend there, there's a charter school also in the area, and they're going to be run by a lottery system. It's going to be Hope Academy Charter, and they're rated a C. Once you head on over to high school, there is a private school option in the area, so your child can attend St. Rose, which is going to be located over in Belmar. They're rated an A- according to niche.com, house about roughly 400 students, and 11-to-1 student-teacher ratio. The tuition for the upcoming school year is going to be about $15,000, and that's for 2024-2025. Financial aid is available, and just kind of a shout out to their boys basketball team. They just won the Shore Conference, which is the main conference tournament in our area. Point number 6 are going to be the housing options available to you in Asbury. So I like to break it down to 3 categories. You got adult communities, condos and townhomes, and single-family homes. When it comes to adult communities, there are none available in the Asbury Park area, especially that I'm aware of. I've checked our MLS in the last couple of years, and there's no sales for them either. So I'm assuming there aren't any. Then you're going to have condos and townhomes. For the condos, 95% of them are going to be located on the eastern side of Route 71. I think there's 1 development on the western side, but it's also very close to train tracks as well. The price range here is going to vary quite heavily. You can get anything from a $300,000 1-bed or studio apartment all the way up to a $3 million penthouse overlooking the Atlantic Ocean, the beach, boardwalk, all that kind of stuff. So very big price range there. On the single family side of things, the opposite is going to be true, where the majority of them are going to be located on the western side of 71, but the ones that are on the east side of 71, they're going to run you a pretty penny easily. Every one of them is going to be in the 7-figure range, over $1 million. There's not many available in the area, so it's obviously going to jack the price up, but the closer you get to the water, the beach, just like the condos, it's just going to run the numbers up a little higher. On the western side, it's a little bit cheaper in that area. Towards the northern part, though, near Deal Lake, those are going to run you a little bit more money because you're going to have waterfront properties, but the majority of the single-family homes otherwise in Asbury are probably going to run you between about $400,000 to $700,000. Point number 7 is going to be the shopping and dining options. If you're looking for a major food store, you're going to have to head west onto Asbury Avenue, and that takes you into Neptune, and that's going to be, the nearest one's going to be ShopRite. So that's going to be your closest one to Asbury Park. It's not a far drive by all, maybe 5-10 minutes at the absolute most. Then, if you want to do some other shopping in the area, you're going to go up and down the boardwalk, a bunch of different boutique areas over there. But the southern portion of Asbury Park off of Cookman is also going to have quite a few different shops, boutiques, jewelry, that kind of stuff. On the restaurant side of things, it's similar to the shopping. You're not going to see a lot of big chain restaurants by any means. That's not how Asbury runs. They're going to have a lot more small businesses. You have every menu type imaginable, from Italian to seafood, steak, Mexican. If you want a good brunch place, you can head on over to Cookman Ave again. They have Toast over there. It's a really good spot. They have a couple different locations. One of them just happens to be in Asbury. My favorite personal restaurant is going to be Brando's. It's an Italian-style menu. It's pretty old school. You're gonna have to make a reservation in advance. The Raiders are gonna be dressed up to the nines all the way. Really good wine selection over there. The last time I went, I got a seafood fried Diablo. Highly recommend getting that one. It was amazing. But you really can't go wrong with that place. Every dish that came to our table, we sat there with 10 friends. It was phenomenal. Thanks so much for sticking around to the end of the video, guys. I really do appreciate it. Hopefully you gain a little bit more understanding and knowledge on what it's like to live in Asbury, or even just go hang out there. If you're looking to move to the area, feel free to reach out. All my contact information is down below in the comments and the description. Whether you're 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, even a year out, it doesn't matter to me. Let's just get you on the right path towards your real estate goals. And if you want to move to a different part of the Central Jersey area, check out the 2 videos popping up, and hopefully they'll help you out a little bit too. Have a great day.